My name is Paige Pu Koa Chang. I am an artist, a teacher, and a kapa maker. Kapa making, or kapa, is the traditional ancient fabric of Hawaii, which is made from tree bark. So I'm here at the Pitt Rivers Museum at Oxford University, and I'm here to share my practice with about 50 people from all over the world, different museums. It's been very exciting for me. So as a Hawaiian practitioner, there is no Hawaiian practice without the aina, without the land, period. We talk about the concept of ahu pua'a in Hawaii. So that is from the tops of the mountain down to the coast. And it's basically a pie shape, right? So that's your ahu pua'a. So anywhere on the island that has many, many resources, their piece of the pie, let's say it goes this way, would be smaller. And if you're in a part of the island that doesn't have a lot of resources, then your piece of the pie is much bigger. So that every ahu pua'a has enough resources for the people that live there. I try to keep my practice within my ahu pua'a. Every single thing that we buy is rubbish because eventually it's gonna go back into the ground, eventually. We can't sustain this cycle of garbage and poison. But if we go back to native practice and we see how they managed the resources was safe and healthy. Coming here to Pitt Rivers and having the opportunity to see pieces of cultural artifacts that have been collected or donated pretty much under questionable circumstances. The consequences of that contact were dire because once we were found, life was never the same again when so many people died and so many practices were lost. On the one hand, coming here and finding tools used in the kapa practice and finding intact, beautiful pieces of kapa, it's heartbreaking, but it's really exciting because they're intact and they're safe. They're not being used, which makes us sad. But where I live in Hawaii, we don't have as many pieces. I think because we lost so much of our culture right there in Hawaii, the value of these things was lost. Hawaiian people also, I think, to survive, had to let go of so much of their culture. I know that it's painful for us, and it was very emotional walking into that room and seeing those pieces. Being able to touch them and hold the hand of my ancestors and to see their craftsmanship and their art, that was really, really something. But I think it's important for us to be able to take those pieces back. I think the reason that it's important to consider repatriation for lots of cultures is to let us relearn those practices that were lost. That's why coming here and reconnecting with these historical objects is, yes, very important, but I think reconnecting people who are disconnected is even more important. And what a wonderful way to do that than to see these examples that have been maintained and have been taken care of and were like pre-contact. So this is when they were using them. Like this was the tool. Like this was the thing, because they stopped making them. So now we've got this example. Like it would be really great for me as a maker to have that thing to learn from. I learned from like looking at pictures and just looking for wood and trying out different things. And it would have been wonderful for me if I had something, if I could have built on the pieces that were here.